Now we're live. There we go. And, as we were saying there, Illinois looking to redeem themselves from that crushing loss yesterday as we have Arizona scoring first here. Illinois looking to respond.
Yeah, Arizona with pressure up court to start the game. Illinois did a good job spreading it out, but they weren't quite able to set the picks to get good cuts and rolls to the basket.
Indeed, and Frost yesterday was a huge scoring threat for Arizona yesterday, and we see early on she's kind of moving the ball around, allowing her teammates to really get it going for her.
Certainly. That was a really good two there from Mary Wagstaff. I like the way this group came out. They seem a little bit more composed today, not pushing the pace as much. Maybe that could work in their favor.
As Frost just gets her way to the paint there.
Yeah,
getting the bucket.
That was one of the problems that Illinois had yesterday against Arizona was they weren't seeing across the court and using two people to help stop those cutters. And so that's going to be that's an early red flag that Illinois wants to catch.
Gross will shoot her free throw. Unable to get it to go. McCammon with the rebound for Illinois.
And McCammon had a pretty big game yesterday. Her and Wagstaff were a very much so highlight duo. A lot of the points came from inside the paint with those two.
And right on cue there, she's able to get it to Wagstaff. Wagstaff unable to get that shot to go, though.
Quite a difficult shot. I mean, the angle along with the defensive pressure there, maybe not the best shot.
Yeah, but you can see an adjustment already on Wagstaff today. She's pumping the ball, taking an extra second to get herself set on those shots. Yesterday, she was rushing sometimes and missed some. So that's a good sign that she's making that small adjustment technically to take a little bit more time. Now it's got to pay off.
And with the two for University of Arizona, number 25, Elise Froese, who also had a big game yesterday, scoring a little less than 25, but nonetheless impacted the game very much.
Indeed, and I think if we want to see Illinois starting to get to go, I think we're going to have to start seeing early production from Wagstaff and from McCammon. I think that's really the engine of this team here. And Arizona just not missing early on here, up 8-2.
There's a really nice triple switch by Illinois on Fro's side. Nice job by Arizona staying composed in the ball swing and hitting that jump shot in the offside.
Certainly, that's McCammon and Wagstaff looking to go wide again. Wagstaff trying to get something going, going to throw it back cross court to McCammon with an open shot, and she sinks that one.
Yeah, that was a well-taken shot by McCammon. Nice mechanics on her fall through. She has to do the same thing when she gets the ball inside the key, and she's contested by bigger players.
Certainly.
Rose getting stopped up there, but she passed it to the paint.
That is number one, Lily Laudenschlager. McCammon looking to make another quick basket.
A little too much there.
A nice seal by Finger to get McCammon in.
And, I really like Froese's game. She plays with a lot of intensity. She pushes the ball, and she never lets the pressure go on Illinois.
Here we see her again with the ball.
Looked like she wanted that dump pass to Duncan, didn't get it. Illinois now is going to capitalize with a missed shot. McCammon with the rebound.
So now we can start to see some of the decision-making that Illinois is doing. If there's a small for Arizona in the dive, they're going to jump and trail, it looks like. They're not going to triple switch. They're only going to triple switch when they have Lautenschlager as one of the dives in that pick and roll.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how far out Arizona is willing to come. They're anticipating the pick. We have to do a better job for the Illini setting that pick and then attacking the backs that get presented.
Certainly.
Counts here with the ball. She's going to give it to Wagstaff. Wagstaff swinging it across court
Plenty
to
of
McCammon.
time left on the shot clock.
And a foul there on Leidenschlager. And an inbound pass there to McCammon. McCammon finds Campbell, and Campbell able to get there.
Really nice pick and roll by McCammon and Campbell.
We're going to have a quick timeout here, 30 seconds.
You can see that time on that inbounds. Instead of going and picking across the court on that inbounds, they ran a high, low, low, high attack on the ball side. And I don't think that Arizona was ready for that. They were anticipating that cross pick again. And so what Illinois did was they attacked backs and went in what we call the complementary redirection.
Yeah, and I think Coach Wheeler's just reinforcing all the fundamentals that she wants her team to stick to.
Yeah, this 5-minute point in the beginning of the game is a good time for a coach to call a timeout because the other team will have shown their game plan, their strategy. And so now a lot of times you'll see a coach call a timeout at that 5-minute mark, and they'll talk about the adjustments that they're going to make to the game plan that they've just seen.
And we see Illinois really being very matchup heavy here.
Leidenschlager loses the ball there, but gets it back on a bad turnover from Campbell. Seems very unforced there.
Oh, and McCammon, with great defense, they're able to alter the shot. But Arizona still able to convert there.
So you can see the upcourt pressure by Arizona. Really important for Illinois to spread them out fully in that attack. And there we get a drive to the basket by McCammon because we created that space to attack.
And Wagstaff.
It looked like a little bit of contact there from Froese. Ref doesn't seem to think so. Going to be Arizona's ball now.
Leidenschlager passes to number 14, Frazier. And Arizona continuing their scoring here.
Yeah, Illinois can't let these rolls to the basket happen. This is where they struggled yesterday, and they gave up high percentage scoring opportunities.
See Counts getting a little flustered there. And Illinois trying to get some scoring here, and McCammon able to get it to go.
That bucket by McCammon was made possible due to Campbell's active hands tipping the ball back to her, giving her a second chance.
Well, and hopefully a couple of buckets like that begin to give her some confidence and let her relax just a little bit more in her shot. Because she's certainly getting opportunities in every single game.
Froese again with the cold 10-footer.
So one of the things we see it's so important when you see these teams pressure like this is that the first two players, low and wide for the offense, go low and wide enough. They establish the space with which you're going to work with on offense.
And that's a big block by Elise Froese on Mary Wagstaff. Looking to push the ball up the floor here. And she is going to get the foul call on number 43, Maya Campbell from Illinois. What a great defensive read by Froese. Able to get the block and push the ball down the floor. Going to put herself at the position for 2 points at the line.
And I think Illinois is just playing with a little bit of nerves here, especially being down. It's kind of being a little reminiscent of their start yesterday.
Yeah, sometimes what happens is you carry a previous day's performance into your next performance. Sometimes that's a good thing if you've had a good performance. You bring confidence to it. It relaxes you. Sometimes you don't have a great performance and you keep thinking about that and you're not thinking about the moment that you're in and executing that way. You get almost distracted by the previous day's results and it's kind of going through your mind. And that's really, really important for you to remind yourself and to have teammates that remind you. Stay focused on the moment, the possession that you're in at that time.
Indeed, and Frost misses her first and unable to get both free throws to fall. McCammon going to get that reboard for Illinois. Campbell with some time, and she's able to get that shot to go. Able to set up nicely, square herself, and get a good shot.
And, you know, we spoke about this yesterday. Campbell could be a very viable third option. She's able to square up, get a nice shot off. She has pretty decent defense, a nice height advantage. She could be a really nice piece for this Illinois team.
Really nice half jumps there by Counts. She came halfway out on a jump, just put enough pressure on Frazier to distract her from taking that shot.
McCammon looking for Wagstaff.
McCammon not rushing a shot there.
Wagstaff finding Campbell, being patient, allowing the play to develop, but Campbell with a little too much on that shot.
Yeah, nice little pick and roll. Those are the shots that Illinois is generating that they have to be able to finish on.
And again,
Fraser with that shot, unable to go, and a great block there by Counts.
Froese again pushing the ball up the floor for Arizona. She does such a good job of not allowing Illinois' defense to get set.
Going to be Illinois ball here.
These extended defenders are giving Illinois lots of opportunities for picks. Now they need to technically execute them.
Certainly. And speaking of going off of yesterday's performance, I wonder how that would affect Mary Wagstaff. She was so dominant on the offensive end last night. Wonder how it can affect her game today.
Yeah, she's been quiet so far early. We haven't seen a lot of that early shot. Well taken in the key. But Arizona's committing to shutting her down. She has to think about how she can use that, and the Illini can use that to their advantage. So if they're willing to come this far out on Wagstaff, there's a great opportunity for a pick.
Certainly.
A pick or a cut. And that's what Mary and Morgan are going to have to identify. If they try that pick and it's not there and it looks like Arizona's anticipating it, then a cut opens up. Those young players out there, that's one of the things that is different between great players and good players. Great players, like Pat Anderson, Steve Sirio's examples, they know when you take that first read away, they know exactly what the next one is, and they do it instinctively. They don't have to pause and to read, to think about it. They just know it's open, and they attack that. And they have the technical ability to attack that as well, and that's what makes them really difficult to stop.
It's going to be Illinois' ball for this possession. Finger taking the ball out.
Finds McCammon there. McCammon having time to set up for a shot, and she's able to get it to go too. Cutting us to a 4-point lead for Arizona.
And again, I don't think it's a surprise that Illinois can slowly start to get into an offensive rhythm. As we seen yesterday, I think a major part of what Illinois lacks is a big communication and defensive pressure. Pass up top to Duncan. Duncan's going to take it. Going to miss that from the free throw.
Yeah, missed shot there by Dunn, but able to just really get a nice look there, and
Counts able to catch a really nice pass. Looks like she's going through a little bit of contact there. Going to get it to McCammon. McCammon's going to be able to put it up.
She took her time that time. You could see she caught the ball, paused for just a moment. She didn't push the ball right out of her hand. That's a good sign for Illinois if Morgan McCammon is taking her time on those shots.
And very fortunate that shot wasn't made there by Arizona, but great rally by Illinois at the end of that first quarter. Only a 2-point lead heading into the second quarter. What did Illinois change there to really start getting themselves back into the game?
So I don't think there was anything radically different that they did. We're starting to see their game plan unfold defensively, who they're going to jump and then cause a triple switch on. And anytime that Arizona is in a power set where they don't have one of their lower class players in the dive, that's when Illinois is going to triple switch. We saw a really nice triple switch on that last one. Arizona identified Abby Dunn at the top, swung the ball to Dunn, but you saw fingers shade over from the offside elbow. Put a little bit of pressure on Dunn so she didn't get a clean look. That's a fourth person rotation. That's a great rotation by Illinois. The thing they're going to have to stop, though, they've got to stop some of these rolls to the basket, even if it's a little rolling to the basket for Arizona, because Arizona's rules capitalized on those layups. On the other end, they're taking their time for their picks. That's so important so they can execute them properly and get to the rim.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes from Frose's presence on the floor there. She's just able to draw in so much attention, and I think Illinois commits to that sometimes just a little too much, and it's able to open up a lot of those rolls to the basket.
I'll be really interested to see, with both teams extending their defense, which team can first create the space and capitalize against it.
Start of the second here, Illinois is going to begin with the ball. McCammon's going to bring it up for Illinois. McCammon looking for an opening there. And she's just going to pass it off to Wagstaff. Wagstaff with a quick shot there.
And that's a really nice shot by Wagstaff. Way to get squared up with the rim. Follow through. Everything looked great with that shot right there. Froese is losing the ball.
Really nice job by Illinois that time. You could see in their pressure, they're starting to check their shoulders and collapse and flatten out. And they're not staying extended and being picked blind. And that'll be really, really important, because that's where Arizona was able to take advantage of them. The Illinois defenders weren't seeing behind, and they were getting picked out because they couldn't collapse in time.
Yes.
Certainly. I think it was a good idea that Froese is pushing the ball down the floor so much, just to put a little, send two people her way. I think that's what caused a little bit of the turnover right there.
Yeah, and I think right there we saw some of those rolls that were just really hurting Illinois earlier.
Well, that's an example where Lautenschläger gets that cut to the basket. Somebody else from Illinois has to go and help.
Oh, and a tough shot. Try to get there by Campbell. Just a little short.
So watch the Illinois defenders as they're in this extended pressure. Watch their heads and see if they're moving their heads back and forth, rotating them to see the court, or if they're getting stuck looking in one direction. When they get stuck looking in one direction, that's when Arizona's able to take advantage of them. When they're checking their shoulders, looking around more frequently, that's when they're effective at stopping those cuts from Arizona. A small little technical thing. And there goes
A tire.
a tire. Startled everybody. Everybody jumped just a little bit. Everybody looking down to see, is that my tire that just blew? So for those young players out there and you're watching and you want to learn something from this, and you want to watch the defensive players and watch how frequently they turn their heads to look around. They really should turn their heads. It's about every 2 seconds to look in a new space, to be able to look at the ball, to be able to look at their check, look offside of where they are, and then the open space. And you want to look in the open space because that's the next place the play should happen. And so for those young players, that's what you're seeing should look like. Moving your head about every 2 seconds and then looking at those things, the ball, your check, offside, and space.
Sounds like my dad telling me check my mirrors every time I'm driving.
Froese with that classic mid-range. That one rocks out. McCammon with the rebounds going to push the ball for Illinois.
Oh, and a risky pass there. Heavily contested.
And Arizona is doing such a great job of denying Wagstaff. They've seen that she could be a dominant scorer, and I think they are just trying their hardest right now to capitalize.
And we're going to have a full timeout here by Coach Wheeler of Illinois. She wants to talk it over.
Yeah, that pass into that double team where Mary Wagstaff was doubled by the two big Arizona players, somebody else is open. That's the person that Illinois needs to find. And it's okay for Mary in that moment to say, no, not me, and to identify and point someplace else on the court. The other end, Froese, like, she is a deceptively fast in the open court. And I think that Illinois has got to adjust to that and anticipate a little bit better. And that last cut to the basket, Illinois dodged a bullet there with that missed layup. The wide open look. There were two defenders there that they needed to communicate and help together to stop that cut by the Arizona player.
Yeah, because what exactly do you think is the cause of it? Is it more so lack of communication or simply just not moving your chair efficiently?
I think they're not seeing it and they're not talking about it. They're not committing to be like, hey, I've got your back, force her this way, and overplaying her. So I think that it's those two things that I'm seeing that could be tightened up for Illinois. But they're both things they control, so they can adjust there.
Certainly.
Wagstaff looking like she was trying to find Campbell there. And she still does.
What a great pass from Wagstaff to Campbell. And again, I think Campbell could be a viable piece with Wagstaff getting so much attention. Campbell could be the piece that's needed to push Illinois over on the offensive end.
Yeah, she's being very quietly steady.
And they cannot let Arizona get those easy ones.
Arizona up 20-18. With about 7.5 left in the second quarter. Wagstaff with the ball. She sets, she shoots.
Finger trying to get the rebound, couldn't hold on to that one. Wagstaff to Campbell. And that one is going to go. Campbell again. And another Campbell, too, from Wagstaff specifically. I think Wagstaff is figuring out the recipe for success here.
Yeah, Campbell is just very quietly sneaking in when that Arizona defender turns her back on her.
Oh, risky pass right there. Finger couldn't see it. Frazier's going to take her time. Froese gets another one to go.
And it's going to be a turnover.
Yeah, I think Ava Finger, she could have turned around and got the ball. Just not enough recognition there.
Yeah, once again, that's just a matter of Illinois being able to communicate efficiently on the floor here.
Great job from Campbell.
Yeah, nice defense. She turned around, positioned herself well, backed up into the space, and got her hand into the passing lane.
Most certainly. Campbell and Frazier actually seem to be a pretty nice matchup.
And Wagstaff positioning herself very nicely as she maneuvered her way there, able to get a nice bucket, high efficient shot in the paint. Yeah, and we're going to have a timeout here.
Yeah, again, we saw her just as she's gathering herself to shoot, that little pump to take that extra second to gather herself to take a quality shot. That's an adjustment we didn't see from Illinois yesterday where they were rushing a lot of shots. We're seeing this technical adjustment. That's why the game is different now today than it was yesterday at the same time.
Indeed, we'll see what the coaches want to talk about here. We'll be right back.
We are innovators, explorers, creators. We inspire each other and welcome everyone. Create your next experience in the Champaign-Urbana area.
All right, coming out of this timeout here, we're going to have Koenig checking in for Finger for Illinois.
So you start to see the Arizona offense unfolding where they split Fraser and Froese, starting them on opposite sides, but then they bring them across to cross. Illinois has to identify that piece of the offense and then adjust defensively and read that.
McCammon with the ball here.
Nice cross pick by Campbell.
Wagstaff with time, and she hits a nice shot that she was able to just set herself into.
Really great tool from Wagstaff, tying this game up once again. Illinois has yet to take the lead. And the Froese looks like she's going to have her way.
Yeah, there's that speed again that it's deceptive. You don't think she's as quick as she is, but she has space and she just keeps pushing. And if you take one push off, that's it. She's past you.
Certainly. I love how she took such a wide angle just to push herself all the way through to the basket. Counts look like she has something here. Can she finish it?
Little too much there by Counts. Froese getting the ball back for Arizona.
Counts, we've seen her set a number of really good picks. What I think she needs to do is hold those picks for a second longer.
And a foul called on Wagstaff. Wagstaff seemed to be a little confused there. I also don't really think.
Yeah, I think
there
the
was a lot
ref
of
missed
contact.
that one. Wagstaff swung, but she completely missed. You know, it's hard being a ref. Every now and then they're going to miss one of those. They have to let that go.
Yeah, no, I thought Mary did a really good job being behind and doing what we call a wolf and following from behind to pressure from behind. You could see that Abby Dunn was out of position on that, and from where the official was, he must have seen some kind of bump. From our angle, we couldn't see one, but he might have seen something from the angle that he was at.
Most certainly.
And Arizona able to get their own miss and unable to capitalize there. McCammon
A great
gonna
defense
secure it.
on Froese.
Yeah, I really like McCammon's hand position where she was defending the space where Froese wanted to bring the ball down.
Oh, McCammon's going to find Wagstaff with a foul before the pass can get there.
Yeah, down low, Mary Wagstaff did a really nice power pivot to get herself in position underneath the basket. Without that foul, it's, I think, 2 points for Mary Wagstaff.
Four and a half left to go in the first half. Illinois down 2 to Arizona. McCammon with the ball. Finding that cut there. Unable to get it to go there by Counts.
Again, really nice pick and roll. So now we've seen Counts now a number of times set some really nice picks. She just needs to hold them a little bit longer to allow space to be recreated. They need about a 10-foot gap of space. So just another couple of seconds and she'll have the type of space she needs for that roll.
More certainly. I also thought that maybe they could start the screen a little bit higher to give her more time to roll to the basket.
And there's going to be a 3-second call there. It'll be Arizona ball.
So let's watch the Illinois defenders and see if they're turning their heads and looking all around so they can help stop those cuts from the Arizona players.
Right now, a lot of the eyes are on Froese. Nilsson with the ball looking for Froese immediately when she gets to her spot. Koenig with the loud
Right,
distraction
just shouting in her
yells,
face there.
able to get her to miss that shot.
Yeah, we always talk about if you're going to pressure the ball, wheels, voice, and hands, and Koenig definitely using her voice on that one.
Counts able to get a rebound, and
Had a
Campbell.
2v1 situation with Wagstaff And Campbell, they couldn't seem to capitalize.
Yeah, just looked like too many bodies under the basket there. Kind of unable to find anyone outside to get a high efficient shot.
And Illinois did a really good job that time of turning their heads and making sure they see all sides of the floor.
Yeah, much better job. They're starting to see the court, and that's giving them information to make good decisions defensively.
McCammon looking for a pick.
Wagstaff, he finds McCammon. McCammon's in a setup. And
Tried to hit the
not there.
backboard, missed that one by a little. And that's great defense by Campbell again. Campbell is a really good matchup for Froese.
No, that was Froese didn't adjust her chair and get herself squared.
Wagstaff able to tie the game up here. Nice layup there.
I like how Illinois is just staying focused and playing each possession, one possession at a time right now. You can see they're just going back and forth. They're not distracted.
Oh, and Illinois able to swarm Arizona here.
Laudenschlager stuck for a minute.
Yeah, watch the Illinois defenders' heads to see if they're looking around.
And we see how they're trapping Froese there, too, around the three-point line, forcing the other players to score for them.
McCammon getting to her spot, looking like she's going to hit up Wagstaff. Great inside pass to Counts. Counts with the open shot. And they're going to get the 3-second call on Illinois.
Yeah, Mary getting herself into a tough spot where she couldn't leave the key, and she has that responsibility.
Great awareness there by Arizona.
Most certainly. Frog, what's your advice on players who's in a situation like Mary where you want to get set up, you want to make sure you get in such a good spot, but you also have to be aware of that 3-second call and whether or not they're trapping you inside?
Don't let yourself get trapped. No.
Right, I would say you're just going to have to call a timeout.
No, you always have to have an exit plan. You have to know where you're going to go, and she just got herself stuck in a bad spot.
Rodriguez going to let that fly for Arizona.
Yeah, that was a good defensive possession, forcing Arizona to take that outside shot. Well hit by the Arizona player, but that's the type of thing that Illinois has to be willing to give up to stop those cuts.
Cameron, he finds some space inside. She's going to take that shot, and that shot good. Tying the game up once more with about a minute left in the half.
Nice pressure by Illinois. They need to make sure they don't stay extended and they collapse and flatten out so they don't get picked in the open court. So a little bit of discussion by the officials. They're seeing 18 seconds on the shot clock, and the ball just got over half. So I think they're wondering if this might be a backcourt violation. Okay, it looks like they think it might have, the shot clock might not have been reset properly on the last shot.
Counts with some nice defense here.
Yeah, you can see Illinois starting to see out too much and stay out too much.
Well, great positioning there by Wagstaff.
Yeah, so for those young players out there, first rule on offense, don't run into the defense.
Great advice.
Campbell's going to bring the ball up here. Illinois with a chance to take their first lead of the game heading into the half.
And they are going to return the favor, going right back the other way.
And again, first rule on offense, don't run into the defense.
Tie game here, about 27 seconds left in the half.
Rodriguez almost looked like she was willing to take the long distance shot. They're going to work her way in.
Illinois able to hold for the final shot here. McCammon, not enough on it, and that will be the half. It is a tie ball game here in Champaign, Illinois, 28-28. How do you think the game is so far?
Much different game than we saw yesterday when Arizona came out and they were able to capitalize against the Illinois pressure, up-court pressure defensively. They were able to cross-pick and cut and get to the basket for wide-open layups. We haven't seen nearly as much of that, and that's because the Illinois players we've commented on, they're seeing the court better, and so they're able to help off of their matchups to help stop cuts, and they're also better able to see picks so they don't get picked out as much. At the other end, we've seen Illinois, they've done a better job taking their time on some of those shots. We've seen it in a number of different instances. And that's allowed them to shoot a higher shooting percentage and capitalize on some of the looks. Those two things are key, I think, so far for the different game we're seeing from Illinois. Now Arizona, they're going to have to figure out how are they going to adjust, and it's going to require some other players creating opportunities for themselves. It can't all be on Faris' shoulders. He carried a lot of it yesterday. But that's going to be players like Abby Dunn getting a look, rolling to the basket. Lautenschlager getting some look, going to the basket. And I think that it's Fraser and Rodriguez not getting stuck sitting behind their screens, but maybe attacking offside, get in. So there's a couple of different things they can begin to explore there to respond to what Illinois is doing.
Yeah.
Definitely. And Arizona had previously been defeated by University of Illinois the past two contests. I think that Illinois just came out a little lax yesterday, and I think Arizona had a chip on their shoulder. Just came out with so much energy. Illinois came out flat. Today, I feel like they were a little bit more ready for it, and that's what has the score as tied is what it is.
Indeed. I think what's impressed me the most today, I'd say, is the defense that Illinois has adjusted themselves to. Playing from yesterday, today you see such a big shift in the way that they're defending Arizona, and I think it's reflected in the score.
Yeah, and then they're not, what's important to remember, and if you're a young player out there, those small little technical things we've talked about, seeing the court, can have a huge impact on the execution of your defense. And so those small details, they all add up to a big game, and Illinois is starting to take care of those little details.
Certainly, certainly. We'll be back to see how the second half turns out.
Welcome to Napleton's Auto Park of Urbana, with 7 manufacturers and nearly 1,000 vehicles in stock. Our commitment to you doesn't end when you purchase a vehicle. We're committed to giving you the best ownership experience possible. Keep your vehicle running right with regularly scheduled maintenance from our experienced team of factory-trained technicians and our brand new state-of-the-art facilities. Napleton's Auto Park of Urbana. Why go anywhere else?
From harnessing the transformative power of computing and data sciences to discovering new ways for environmental and agricultural sustainability, to opening new pathways for better patient care and medical discovery using AI. At Illinois, we develop and deliver ideas that positively impact the world.
The minutes between contractions, the hours a loved one is in surgery, the first steps after a knee replacement. When it comes to your health, we know you're counting on a lot, At Carle Health, you can always count on us. In these moments, and in all the moments to come, delivering exceptional care, providing compassion and support, working together as one system across every community we serve. Because this is where care counts.
This is the moment of a lifetime. The clock's ticking like my lifeline. Until I flatline, I push it to the red line. Who gon' stop me high? Who gon' stop me high? Breathtaking, a move that I make, I give it everything I got. Cause that what it takes, I push the limit till it break. The heart of the brave, the soul of a legend with the will to be great. Hold up. The soul of a legend with the will to be great. Hold up. Who gon' stop me in my moment? Who gon' stop me when I'm going? They can't break me, I don't back down. Like a king, give me my crown.
Do you remember when we first started this journey together? We ventured forth and forged a bond. Made to unite, made to perform. It was a new partnership. We found new ways to excel despite the odds. We were built for each other. It was the first time I felt like I belonged, like I was a part of something bigger. Together we faced adversity and embraced it. And with you by my side, I've become better, more durable, stronger. Because what others see as limitations, I see as strength. Our community has fueled my fire. Together we've rewritten the narrative, unlocking doors to a world of possibility. I'm proud of the journey we've taken, to be a part of something truly groundbreaking. I see a world where limitations are shattered and possibilities unlocked.
Performax, empowering athletes and redefining limits for 25 years. We are innovators, explorers, creators. We inspire each other and welcome everyone. Create your next experience in the Champaign-Urbana area.
From its beginnings as a single stately hall in 1867, the University of Illinois has twined its way around the hearts of Illini. Today,
All right, getting ready to come out of the half. Illinois and Arizona tied up here heading into the third quarter. I think Illinois ready to take on this challenge and come away with a win here. What do you think they have to do in this half in order to secure that win?
I think they need to keep checking their shoulders and seeing the full court on defense and being willing to help off a matchup to stop cuts going to the basket. I think they need to, and then inside the half court, push those screens out, identify where the triple switch side is, and quickly triple switch to take away pick and rolls going to the basket. On the offensive end, continue to set up Arizona for those picks and cuts and take their time on the shots when they get those looks.
Campbell's going to take the first shot of the second half. Left that one short, bumps off the front iron. Froese pushing the ball now for Arizona. And let's see what Froese can do. She is such an impactful player. Hopefully Illinois can make the adjustment. And Nilsson is left wide open. Did a great job of not letting Froese get an easy shot. But Nilsson with the wide open basket. And again, he had to get the ball out.
Yeah, if Illinois is going to let that roll by the little to the basket, they're going to have to make sure they get somebody behind that to trail that shot to contest it.
That's a nice pass from Counts. Put a little bit too much air on it. Wagstaff couldn't control it. Missed the layup there. And Froese again left alone. And Frazier's going to capitalize.
Yeah, that time Campbell didn't slide down and keep Frazier boxed out.
And head coach Stephanie Wheeler from University of Illinois does not like what she sees so far, calling a quick 30-second timeout.
Yeah, I think she's seen something defensively that didn't work for her. I think you've seen a couple of times now where Illinois has jumped and they've allowed somebody to roll to the basket either for an open layup. They want to stop those people from rolling to the basket, so they've got to be more aware of sliding down if they're the high defender to stop some of those, and then triple switching in other instances. When they've triple switched, and they did that in the first half on the power sides, they were really effective defensively at taking away rolls to the basket.
Certainly, certainly.
Illinois taking the ball out here. McCammon will bring it up. He's going to find Wagstaff in the paint, and Wagstaff
taking her time, getting that set shot that she wants.
Yeah, really nice seal by her teammate, getting her into position to post up, and then Wags calling for that ball.
Oh, and there's going to be Laudenschlager. The free basket to the rim, can't get it to go, but is going to take a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's one of those ones, again, where you're not going to get to the ball to stop it. And so you need to fake that you're going to get there and stop short and be there for a rebound.
Certainly, certainly.
I think that's McCammon's second.
Most certainly second foul of the game. And that's Froese putting it back up.
Able to get a three-point play out of that one.
Yeah, Mary Wagstaff, she pushed in straight instead of coming in at an angle to box out Froese. And Froese got into like perfect rebounding position.
McCammon looking for Wagstaff again.
Yeah, a really nice seal by Counts to get Wagstaff in position. You know, McCammon just needs to take a second to let her get set and then pass the ball to the open hand, which was her left hand, not her right hand.
Most certainly.
Weidenschlager with the ball. He's going to pass it off to Frazier. Frazier to Froese.
And that's really good defense from the University of Illinois again.
Hey, great job by Finger there.
What a great job by Ivy Counts. She is everywhere just trying to get her teammates open, and look at her rolling to the basket. Can't get that one to go. Active hands. She keeps the possession alive now. Campbell with it. Looks like she's going to take it.
Wagstaff going to have to put a shot up, and a little too much, and it's going to be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, again, nice pick and roll by Abby Counts getting to get to the basket. Even tried a left-handed scoop. So you can see the type of focus that the Illinois players have to really try to execute technically and do the right thing.
Weidenschlager had a nice look there, just unable to get it to go.
Ava Finger there, able to secure the rebound for Illinois. What a good job by Morgan taking off Froese so she can't get to her. She goes all the way and just could not get the angle she wanted for the layup.
Gonna have a jump ball here.
One of those rare times where everything seems so perfectly set up and she just couldn't finish it.
Yeah, again, they're getting some looks to the basket right now. So I'm watching the Illinois players to see if they get extended, see if they're checking their shoulders to help on cuts and go under on picks.
Froese with the pass to Laudenschlager. Laudenschlager with a quick layup, putting them up 7 points over the University of Illinois right now.
And I think this is what Arizona was really looking to do, not have Flores be their primary scoring option, but creating so many opportunities for one another that they're able to create.
And Campbell picking it up again. I think Illinois has to do a good job of keeping Campbell in the mix. I think she could be very viable if they're allowed to have McCammon, Campbell, and Wagstaff able to get good shots.
Yeah, she's very quietly reliable at hitting some of those little shots.
Froese and Laudenschlager trying to keep the play wide so far. Froese squaring up to the rim.
Great defense there by Finger.
Look at Counts, look at Campbell doing everything they can to free up McCammon, and they're going to run with her.
McCammon getting kind of trapped there. She's going to try and get the ball to
Wagstaff.
She does. Wagstaff a little short. Able to get a rebound.
Great hustle play by Wagstaff.
And it's going to stay Illinois ball. Great hustle there.
Great hustle by Wagstaff. That's what you love to see as a coach, a player who is just willing to lay it all out there on the floor for you.
Yeah, that's something you can't coach there.
So, Frog, talk to me. How important is the spacing between Wagstaff, McCammon, and Campbell in order for Illinois to have efficient scoring?
And another bucket there.
When they have 10 to 15 feet of attack space between them, it makes it hard for the Arizona offensive players to have one player guard to. Makes it longer for the rotations to help. So when we can get, if Illinois can spread out McCammon and Wagstaff and Campbell, the amount of space that Arizona's going to have to rotate, they won't be able to do it in time. One of them will get open if they have the three of them properly spaced out.
Most certainly. I think that almost just kind of had what played out. We had Campbell and McCammon on two opposite sides of the wing, and Wagstaff is just loaded up right there at the free throw line. And Arizona has no choice. They have to make a choice on who they want to step up on. And that time, Campbell was the recipient of the basket.
Yeah. Sometimes what teams will do is they'll run what's called a power set. They'll take their two best players, put them on one side, But that's relatively easy to defend because all you're going to do is you're going to bring an extra defender over there and you're going to make them pass the ball to somebody else who's a lesser threat. Now, if you've got some good lesser threats, that works. If you don't, that's costly.
Very.
Coming out of this timeout here, Illinois down 3 with about 4.5 left to go in the third. It's going to be Arizona's ball. Ladenschlager with the ball.
3-point game right now. Illinois is only down 3. And Froer is going to let that one go from deep. Let's see if Illinois can retain the rebound. They do. Campbell's got it now.
You know, and she was just given so much space on that opportunity there. So I think just the willingness to shoot the three is something that Illinois has to make sure that they're closing out on.
They did a really good job pushing the screen farther out that time so that they didn't have to jump and they could stay in and force her to take that shot.
Yeah, keeping Froese on the backside of the court and pushing the ball down the floor.
There's going to be a foul there.
And if that foul is on McCammon, that could be costly. That could be her third.
And a missed shot there by Frazier.
So last time we saw Froese get into the key for a rebound, let's watch and see if Illinois pushes in at angles to box out, or do they push in straight and give Froese that space in the middle of the key?
You saw they kind of just switched right there. And she cashes that second.
Yeah, but you can still see the Illinois players are pushing straight in and not trying to push in at an angle and deny that position to Froese.
And that's great defense from Froese. Able to take that one from Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell passing the ball with two hands over her head. One of the things that people don't realize that in wheelchair basketball, about 80% of your passes are done one-handed. So that you can keep your ball between the body and between your body between the ball and the defender.
And Ladenschlager with a bucket there seemed to be a little surprised herself. And it's going to be a turnover. Morgan McCammon, unfortunately, going out of bounds there.
Yeah. Looked like she wanted some contact there. Ref didn't seem to think so.
Now, Froese doing a good job taking the extra push, getting ahead and having wheel position, and forcing McCammon to run out of space on the sideline. It's McCammon's responsibility to control that space.
Certainly. I also feel like Illinois has to do a better job of getting the ball down the court quicker. It seems to be a problem. We almost got 2 5-second calls, and there Froese was able to steal that. We have to limit some of these really small turnovers. Abby Counts doing a great job getting the ball down the court to half.
Yeah, if Abby Counts can look to handle the ball more in the open court, that'd be a big asset for Illinois. That lets McCammon and Wagstaff attack without the ball. They're faster without the ball. That extra ball handler would be key. So let's watch and see if Abby Counts steps up and starts handling the ball more in the open court.
And Campbell, with the quick and easy two for Illinois, got a tough one at the front of the rim. Rodriguez looking for something. She might have to put it up. And Campbell just missed that pass. Couldn't turn her head as Finger gets scored on by Ladenschlager. Ladenschlager starting to wake up this half offensively.
Yeah, Illinois was triple switching, but Finger came too slow on the triple switch.
Yeah, and I think that's just some great passing there by Arizona as well, finding the open person. Counts with the scoop layup, unable to get it to go, but she gets her own rebound.
And Froese again, just playing really, really hard on defense. Let's see if Finger, and she does not. Ladenschlager blows right past her for the layup. Could not keep up.
And another turnover by Illinois.
Yeah, these great scoop by Abby Counts. She's starting to add that and do that more and more. That's a big piece here. A little bit of a mental error there on Illinois, and these are costly, where you give up that layup and then you have a quick turnover afterwards.
Certainly. Again, I think with Abby, they might have to set the screen a little bit higher just to give her that time to roll to the basket to be a little bit more comfortable for that scoop layup that she wants. And Froese almost loses it. Able to get
There's
it
that
back.
power side to triple switch for Illinois.
Rodriguez is going to put that one up.
Koenig with some nice defense
Campbell
there.
with a very nice rebound over Froese. Froese rushing to get back into it. Wagstaff looking for that extra help there. That's Kylie Koenig. What a great pass from Wagstaff right inside to McCammon. I mean, by the time she turned her head, she only had maybe 1 second to see that, and it's just such a good pass.
Yeah, great court awareness of her teammate. And then McCammon starting to finish inside. That was a nice, steady shot. She took the time that she had to take that shot.
And Wagstaff having to get there to make sure.
Wagstaff, good defense on. And there goes the open shot. A little bit of a miscommunication between McCammon and Wagstaff. And Froese is starting to feel herself here. And again, we're going to need another ball handler for Illinois. As of right now, they're about to get called to 10 seconds. They have to get the ball past half court faster. Wagstaff able to save that one.
Yeah, they need that third ball handler, and I think Abby Counts could be that ball handler. We saw her able to handle the ball with speed in the open court.
And a shot attempt a little short there. It seemed like a foul there on Maya Campbell.
Yeah, Froese from Arizona.
And Froese looks like she's going to take this one.
They're not going to give her that foul on that one, and that will be the end of the third quarter. Illinois down 6 here, 46-40, as we're headed to the fourth.
Yeah, the pace really picked up there in the last 2 minutes of this quarter, and they were going back and forth, back and forth. Arizona able to execute just a little bit better at pace than Illinois. Arizona able to provide just a bit of a gap because of that too.
Yeah, most certainly. I like the triple rotation that Illinois kind of had going early on the defensive side that was able to keep Froese down to a little bit more uncomfortable shots, now allowing her to get set. Curious to see how that's going to look here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, what's really important when Illinois does that triple switch is that it's done so fast that the person rolling to the basket actually doesn't get to start their roll, doesn't get a chance to move in and control space. And so Illinois has to go a little bit faster on a couple of those triple switches where we've seen the sag or the help defender coming from the point, getting there just a little bit late and allowing that roll to the basket. Even though it's a contested shot, it's still a roll to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Start of the fourth. Let's see how Illinois responds here. They're able to come away with a win.
Arizona, again, is doing a really good job. You can see some spots where they've they've spent time working on their game since the last time they saw Illinois.
Oh, and a pass inside there. A nice bucket by number 20, Haley Nielsen.
Yeah, tough shot by Nielsen.
McCammon and Wagstaff talking it out. Looks like whatever they talked about worked there. Wagstaff with a really good shot. still rolling, couldn't get set.
Yeah, I think Illinois really starting to feel the pressure here as the lead is just slowly starting to get away from them. They're trying to get themselves right back into this. Down 8 now.
Illinois wants the chance to stay in this game. They need to keep it inside of this 10-point margin.
Yeah, Lautenschlager with the mismatch against Koenig, shooting over top of her, identifying that. Good identification by Arizona.
And Illinois doing a better job now of getting the ball past half. Now it's a matter of getting some stops and getting them better looks for shots.
One counts. Unable just to get that layup again.
She's starting to get some opportunities, though, and we're seeing growth from game to game where she's creating pick and rolls and getting opportunities rolling to the basket, looking to take those shots. She's not just a picker sealer now. She's going to make herself into a scorer. That'll add another potential threat as the season goes on for Illinois.
Yes, that would open up a lot more for this offense here. McCammon able to get that board there. And Illinois having to push it up the floor now. Need to find some scoring.
What a good pass from McCammon to Wagstaff. Wagstaff able to finish that one.
Yeah, and this time we see Abby Counts set a seal for her teammate to get her teammate to the basket. Last time we saw her get the roll to the basket, so she's starting to expand her game. That'll be really, really important for Illinois.
Most certainly. I think the more useful Abby Counts could be, the more free the offense can be for Illinois. And those picks, again, are slowly starting to just deteriorate the Illinois team.
Well, that's got to be that's a little frustrating because the jump came from low, and that creates a high to low pick. And it's really difficult to triple switch out of that because of the distance that defender has to rotate. And so what ended up, what you got to do is that high defender has to slide back down and still force the threat into the middle where the help is. And Illinois, a little bit out of sync there, gave up that low roll, and they can't do that on that side, especially to Lautenschlager, who's proven she can hit that shot time and time again.
Welcome to Napleton's Auto Park of Urbana, with 7 manufacturers and nearly 1,000 vehicles in stock. Our commitment to you doesn't end when you purchase a vehicle. We're committed to giving you the best ownership experience possible. Keep your vehicle running right with regularly scheduled maintenance from our experienced team of factory-trained technicians and our brand new state-of-the-art facilities. Napleton's Auto Park of Urbana. Why go anywhere else?
Here in the fourth quarter, only down 10. That is a century of time in basketball world.
It is. Wagstaff going to start with the ball here.
Wagstaff looking to make a move.
I think it's fouled there.
And what great recognition and awareness. She knew that Froese was following her and was not willing to let her get that one for free. What a great job putting it up, making sure that she drew the contact for that one. Actually, as aggressive as Froese is, it's quite surprising that they haven't tried to attack her down here more, maybe getting her in a little more foul trouble.
Well, they've got to get her into space is where they have to attack her. Her height's really a factor inside. She uses it really well. And I think if you can attack her with speed and space, that's where you'll be able to take advantage of her.
Wagstaff getting that first one to go. And
I guess the ball got a little bit sweaty, and we've got the ref there taking one for the team and wiping it off on his jersey.
Wagstaff going to sink that one.
Cutting this lead to 8 once again.
I'm watching the Illinois defenders to see if they're checking their shoulders, seeing the court helping to cutters, and staying out.
Not a lot of communication on the defensive end there.
And again, that lost track of the Arizona cutter because we weren't checking our shoulders looking across the court.
Only 3 seconds left. Need to get the ball past half, and that's
Yeah, again, that's where you need more than one or two ball handlers, because I think McCammon was driving deep to be a deep post. You still need a ball handler in that middle space in the court. That's where Abby Counts could step in and provide some additional ball handling support.
Absolutely. I think that's what head coach Stephanie Willers had seen as she just put Counts back in, able to take Kylie Koenig out. And just as we talked about who was bringing the ball down the court, it's Abby Counts.
And this is really important for Abby Counts to expand her game so she's not a one-dimensional player. One of the things that happens in wheelchair basketball is there's a tendency of seeing lower-class players as being pickers-sealers and one-dimensional. The great low-class players, they do everything. They are a threat to score. They are a threat to pick. They are a threat to handle the ball. Yeah. And that's how you want to develop yourself if you're a low-class player of wheelchair basketball.
Most certainly.
Just saw a great pick and roll there by Wagstaff and Finger, able to score and Arizona, responding there on the other end.
Yeah, Froe's able to get a quick and easy one over Counts. Not what she could do there.
McCammon with the ball here, and they're playing really tight defense.
Wagstaff going to let that one go with a little bit of range. Finger looks like she has the rebound, and she does get it. Campbell now with the shot. Looks like she's loaded, and she's going to get that one to fall.
And Campbell might just have to be who they're going to here. Campbell has been getting her shot off very well tonight, and I think they just need to find some consistent scoring here, and that might be through Campbell here down the stretch.
And it's going to be Illinois' ball, a turnover from Arizona.
6-point game.
And Illinois needs more of this. They just need to get a couple of stops, and they could completely change their score. They're only down 6. There's 5 minutes. There's still lots of time to chip away. No need to rush anything at this moment. Great pass to McCammon. Left all alone, going to give it up to Campbell. Looks like a little bit of contact on the shot.
I'm surprised that one didn't get blown on that one.
Yeah.
That's
a little bit of a head scratcher, but Illinois able to get the ball back here. As they say, ball doesn't lie.
Well, I like how Illinois just going right back at it. They're not getting frazzled by it. There's nobody jawing at the official. They're just staying focused.
And Campbell, looks like they had a pretty wide open play. Campbell straight to McCammon, but Campbell with the bad pass is going to be another turnover. This time it's Arizona's possession. Going to make a sub for Arizona. Abigail Dunn coming out and Rosie Long checking back in. And Froese almost fooled everyone right there. She got me for a second with a quick pass to Laudenschlager and a foul from Counts.
Yeah, there the triple switch broke down for Illinois. The person they would triple switch from on the point got picked out. So the triple switch needed to come from the offside elbow that time.
Most certainly. I think one of the big problems right now is the lack of communication. It seems like Illinois has these expectations of what they assume everyone should just do or a place where they should be. And there's just this piece of communication that they could just use right now.
Yeah. Well, and part of what communication actually starts with seeing in the court. When you see, you get information. The next step is, to your point, then you got to share that information with your teammates. You got to tell them what you see and then what you need them to do with that.
Laudenschlager missing 2 of them, but Illinois cannot get the rebound, and that one is going to hurt with such limited time. McCammon with a great strip, able to come away with the rebound. What a great way to have active hands. Let's see if they're going to have any problems now getting past half court. This is the issue with the third ball handler we talked about. Froese out of the play. Looks like they're in good position. Wagstaff turning around and just misses off the front iron. You can hear the crowd pop from the arena when she misses that shot.
Tough shot.
And Coach Stephanie Wheeler is letting the referee hear about this, so she does not agree with the lack of calls being called on her team. A lot of contact that they're playing through right now.
Well, we've seen a couple of them. We saw that one drive to the basket where Abby Dunn put a chair on the Illinois player, knocked her off balance. It wasn't called, and now again. And so Coach Wheeler absolutely voicing her opinion. She wants to make it clear that whatever the official is going to call, it's got to be done both ways. And that's what coaches want. They don't really want it to be called in their favor. They want the game to be the same both ways, and they need it to be the same so the players can adjust. Because I know one of the things is when I was coaching, that's one of the things I always talked about with the players is we have to be able to adjust to the officials. What the officials have to do, be consistent to allow us to adjust.
Yeah, and it looks like Arizona's going to shoot a technical free throws there.
If there was a time head coach Stephanie Wheeler wanted her players to play hard, it definitely is now. That feeling of getting in tech or putting your team in trouble as a coaching standpoint makes you feel the rush from your team. And Arizona coming back with another and one.
Yeah, that one's tough. That's one where I think, again, and this is a cue for players out there, when you're trailing the play like that and you don't have position to stop the offensive player going to the basket, stop short. Fake like you're going to make contact. Get them out of balance and then stop short so you're in a rebounding position.
Most certainly. Illinois only down 11 points right now. Still 4 minutes left on the clock. There's still a lot of time to chip away at this score. It's going to start with some defensive stops first.
Oh, and Wagstaff tried to reverse there.
Looked like she missed McCammon there on what could have been a potential open layup.
Ladenschlager with the ball.
And
She finds Froese. Froese, an easy one there.
Yeah, they have got to do a better job of seeing where Froese is. I mean, the moment she gets in that spot down there, it's barbecue chicken.
Counts with the ball here. Counts looking for one of her bigs on the floor. Foul on the floor.
Yeah, a little bit of a bump, and this could be the officials adjusting a little bit.
And with Wagstaff being such an important piece for her team, right now I would love to see her talk to her team, lead them with her voice as of right now. She seems a bit frustrated, as expected.
And a great find there by Wagstaff to McCammon. McCammon gets a nice high percentage shot there in the paint.
Yeah, she did a nice job finishing it. You can see she's just got a bit better mechanics, taking a second to take the shot better.
And again with Illinois, not turning their head, not keeping their head on the swivel.
Yeah, it's these tiny little things right now, and the problem with it is they add up over time, and they end up creating the gap we see in score.
Certainly, Nilsson has definitely immersed herself as a scorer in this game. I think at this point, Illinois just has to be wary of that now.
And Campbell with a high arcing shot.
Very surprised Campbell got that one, actually. Froese did not, even though she jumped, my POV, I didn't really see Froese make any contact. I think that was a makeup of the call they may have missed down here.
No, when I'm watching Froese doesn't think she had made any arm contact at all, and she didn't. She, in her tilt, pushed into the front fender for Campbell, and so she in effect shoved her down low. She's got to have better control of her chair.
And Campbell unable to get that first free throw to fall. Crucial points that Illinois has to capitalize on, being down 13 with just a little over 2 minutes left in the game. And a timeout by Arizona. Quick 30-second one.
Yeah.
Arizona right now might just be beginning to discuss what's going to happen if there's an end game situation, if Illinois starts to foul, do some things like that to put free throw shooters on the line. You can see Illinois 6 points down. They're playing back and forth with Arizona, starting to chip away just a little bit. Couple of shots missed at one end, couple of shots made at the other end, and a little bit of a breakdown in the Illinois game, just in that little window, and that's opened up the gap here. The game, for the most part, for the vast majority of it, very close, back and forth, much different than yesterday.
All right, coming out of the timeout, it's going to be Arizona's ball. Froese with the ball right now. Only 2 minutes left. Illinois down 12. Right now, they're going to need defensive stops and some really quick scoring if they want a chance in this game. And that's the shot that Froese wants, and she gets it.
Yeah, the mismatch post up. Illinois triple switching that time to deny the roll. So Froese had to take that shot, but she could because of the mismatch post up.
Yeah. And again, with everyone on the Illinois team knowing their role, that was once again Mary Wagstaff screaming to the top of her lungs, somebody get the ball out.
And McCammon for a three here, trying to get her team back into it. Now down only 11.
A really nicely taken shot. She's got the potential to be a really consistent scorer from a lot of different spaces. And a technical difficulty there. 19.7 seconds to play. 65-56, Arizona. You can see Arizona's just going to run the clock down now. They'll just play it out. So not the result that Illinois wanted, but a better